Hello everybody, welcome to Drawing with Waffles. Today I'm going to be going through my 16th sketchbook. Let's get started with the cover page. I always make a cover page if you've seen any of my sketchbooks. So this one took from March 8th of 2017 to July 5th of 2017. But yeah, I really like the way that font turned out up there. And I tried something new by extending the background out over this page, just sort of I don't know, helps it jump out of the page, and I think that was really fun. Here we have just some doodles to fill up the ugly smudge page where stuff bleeds through. Here I tried to design an outfit. I think I had a reference for the dress, but I was kind of unhappy with the way the head turned out too big. But I used some watercolor washes to just separate it from the page and give some more visual interest. Some more sketches. I was having a little trouble trying to find where I was trying to go with my art at the time. Here are some more sketches. I really like the way this really simple cat turned out. Here I drew Anna and Elsa's mommy, Queen Iduna. She's really, really pretty. It looks exactly like her children. Don't know where the dad went in that situation. Here I was practicing the Tim Burton style because I really wanted to do it justice when I did my style swap. I've actually already finished that video, so if you want to check it out, I'll have a link somewhere. So after this study, I drew my original character, Maple, in the Tim Burton style, and I think it turned out pretty good. I actually really like the way that one turned out. But yeah, I just made a list of different things that I noticed in his art style so that I could incorporate as much of it as possible when I did it myself. Here, I guess this is probably after I saw Moana, or I wanted to see Moana, I don't know, so I drew Moana. Here are some Pokemon. Again, I don't know, this sketchbook has a lot of just me being very uncertain and sort of shy with my art, and I wasn't really happy with where everything was going, but I am very happy with that mouth right there with those two buck teeth. That is adorable. Here's when I sort of started getting into sewing. I had never sewn with a machine before, and this was around the time I was doing that, and I was just really, really excited about it. And I was thinking about things that when I know what I'm doing, I'd like to make. So these are just some designs, and then I'd also die if I could cosplay as Thumbelina. I don't know, just a little, I don't know, ideas for the future. Here I have a Captain America sketch. This was actually for the longest time just the pencils, but very recently I went in with the black, I think that's a brush pen, just to add some more something to it, and I actually really like the way that looks. Here I designed a little Disney-bound Winnie the Pooh girl. I think that one turned out really cute. Here I was designing a dress, and that one's a Pooh. Examining the fashion of the 1960s. That was really fun. I like the way their skirts are, the way they're just straight down. Here's drawing some sunflowers because I really, really felt like it. Here I think I'm using the markers, the Oahu markers. My favorite markers are the very pastel-y ones because you can layer them a lot better than the darker ones. This one was with watercolors, so just like a light wash to add some, just some texture to the drawing. Because sometimes when you just draw with just pen, there's just so much white space that you're not sure where to focus the eye. But when you add a couple tones here and there, I think it just makes it more appealing and more fun to flip through the sketchbook. But yeah, that actually turned out really cute. I like the really funny looking nose, it's so cute. Here's the sunflower from my painting a sunflower with the sun video. I definitely suggest that you check out that video. That one was very different than anything else I've done, so it was a lot of fun. This is my pen challenge. Ballpoint pen challenge. It's one of my favorite challenges because it's something that I've always just done as a kid, and it was a challenge that I had to face as a child because I couldn't afford expensive art tools, so I used a lot of pens and pencils. And pens have recently become one of my favorite tools to draw with, just because I like the way that you can get light lines and dark lines if you know what you're doing with your wrist. Here I just drew, it made me feel very anime movie poster-ish, so I just wrote movie in the background there. Well, on the next page we have a drawing of Kirill Deville. This is around the time that Lavender Town and I were trying to plan and figure out what we wanted to do for our collaboration, and we did focus down on Kirill Deville, so I wasn't sure if I remembered what she looked like, so I felt like I needed to draw her. Just sketches with a reference and see how that turned out. Here we have Magna Girl, a little bit older, with some more sketches. I believe this I had a reference for. I actually think that turned out pretty good. She's very flexible. And here's the beginning of Mermaid. So starting up in May, we have Mermaid, where you draw a lot of mermaids, and I made it pretty far, and even though I didn't post all my drawings of mermaid on Instagram, I did a lot more mermaids. So here are some more mermaids. This is one of my favorite pages. I recently just went over with a watercolor wash again to just add some visual interest so that it separates each of the drawings. I think it's just one of the most simplest things that you can do for a sketchbook that just makes it pop, especially if you use different colors for each page and sort of make a rainbow as you go. It's so much fun. But I also made my Dougie as a fish right there. I don't know if you can see that. This one I had a lot of fun adding like netting to the shells to keep the shells on. I just thought, I don't know where I came up. I was doing something on Google and I saw a mermaid bra that had like the fish nets to hold it up, and I was like, that makes a lot of logical sense. Even if mermaids don't, I want the bra too. Okay. More mermaids. This is another mermaid that I really like. I think it turned out really good. It's cute. That's my like original character mermaid. Here she is again. I gave her a different shell bra. But I just went over with some markers just to add like some subtle colors. This could do with another watercolor wash, but I didn't really want to, I don't know, I wanted that one to stand out a little bit more since these are much simpler. But I do love these like 2-minute mermaid sketches, very gestury and fun. Here we have a girl in pen. So basically just doing another ballpoint pen challenge by myself because at this point it's becoming less and less of a challenge, but it's still so much fun. So I do it every time that I don't know what to draw. I just use my pen and draw something. Here I bought some new markers. I haven't done the review of them yet, but I am planning on doing one. They're actually really, really cool. They're the cheapest brush markers that I've found so far. So I'll be talking about those later on in the future. I'm just drawing some dudes with this calligraphy pen that I think I just purchased, along with the markers. Here, this is another one of my mermaid. I didn't want to do it digitally. I wanted to try and do it traditionally. So I used those new markers that I had just bought, and I drew a merbaby, or a baby maid. I don't know what you call that. I'm not 100% happy with the way it turned out, so we're just gonna turn the page. Anyway, some more sketches that weren't really turning out, and then I tried to redraw it on this side, and I think it turned out a heck of a lot better if I do say so myself. Again, using my new markers. One thing about the new markers, I don't want to go into too much detail, save it for the video, but there are a lot of dark ones, and I mentioned earlier that I really like pastel markers because you can layer them, if you can tell that there's like detail in the scales. Whereas when you have a dark one, it's so overpowering, and I'm just not comfortable enough yet to use those, but this is really, really cute. I really like this face, like the chin and everything. I feel like it embodies a lot of personality, even though she's not really doing much. She's just reading a book, but I feel like I know so much about her. I don't know, I just really like that. Here's a sketch of Black Canary with that really dark pen that I purchased that I love. Here are some more sketches. So you'll see this sketchbook it's very up and down. Like, there's one day where I feel really great, like this, and then the next day it's just sort of like I'm struggling to figure out where to draw what and what I'm doing. Like, I really have been struggling with that a lot lately, and I think it shows through in this sketchbook. This is one of my favorite drawings in the whole sketchbook. It's just so fluid, and it's got the markers, and it's simple, like it's using the same color. Like, it's only got one color, aside from like the little extra detail-y orange bit, but that's not like really part of the illustration. But that's one color, and I've got all these different shades in there, and I'm just really practicing, learning how to use the markers, and I'm having a lot of fun, and participating in Mermaid. Here's another just sketch, sort of another, I don't know, one I threw and didn't really like I threw it onto the paper, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I tried to do something else. But this time, I wasn't happy with the way this one turned out either, because this is where I really learned that the dark markers are much harder to work with. And like, there's still a lot of tones in there, but like, I feel like we're missing part of what I really liked about markers, which was their subtlety with the pastels, and I can't get that with the really dark saturated colors, so definitely need more practice with that. I'm here drawing myself as a cartoon character. I am not that cute, but I'll take it. Like, that's adorable. So again, I realized after that last one that dark colors really aren't my specialty, so I went back to some more of the pastel colors, and I found this beautiful beautiful color. Like, it looks like it's glowing. I don't know if that picks up on video, but I drew this like 2 months ago and the colors still look like almost a highlighter. It's so pretty. I really like that. And then I used a separate color to add the shading and some more pops of color. And I really like the way that one turned out. It's very cute. Here I tried to use the smudges and leftovers from that the marker on the other side, and I drew a little octopus and then some little drawings. Here I tried to draw me, but that looks absolutely nothing like me, so we'll just turn the page. And then on the back of that page, again, just some quick sketches to try and fill the sketchbook and loosen up my wrist to try and draw something else. So I like to use those pages that have the blobs of color to just try and loosen up my wrist. And yeah, it worked out. I think this one turned out all right. Kind of happy with that one. I like the flowiness of it. I definitely want to practice hair and get better at drawing hair, but it turned out really cute. And I feel like this mermaid, I really learned how to draw the tails of a mermaid. I think that's one of the things I improved with the most. Of course, you'll see that each mermaid has her accompanying blobfish. Here's a page of just Pinterest. A bunch of references from Pinterest all squashed into one with the watercolor wash in the background. Again, that's one of my favorite techniques. It takes forever to do these kind of pages because there's so much going on, but I think it just gives you so much visual interest. It's pretty cool. This I drew on my birthday. It was supposed to be me again. Here I went to a concert, so I was drawing a bunch of kids playing their instruments and a dude playing the guitar. I was trying to draw them as the concert was going on because I'm a terrible listener apparently, but I think I had a lot more fun this way, so we'll just move on now. Here we have another mermaid and her accompanying blobfish. I'm getting a lot better drawing blobfishes too. Like, they started as just a circle and now they're starting to look so much more three-dimensional. So cute. Here's some girls singing and matching dresses, and I added a little watercolor wash because I really like that one and I want you to look at that one instead of this one. So the watercolor wash just grabs your eyeball. Isn't that smart? Hey, isn't that smart? You can use it to hide your art without having to block it with a turd like I did at the beginning. That sticky note. So here I'm trying to design a character based on me that's very, very simple and easy to draw. I was trying to decide how tall, like how many heads tall it would be, and I decided to keep it very, very short because I found that easier to draw just personally. Yeah, we'll keep that a secret as to why that is, but this is the most finalized drawing I think I have in the sketchbook of that. Here, again, just a bit of a goof off page, so I used it to loosen my wrist because the first thing wasn't turning out, so then the best way for me to loosen my wrist is to draw a swooshy mermaid, so I think that turned out really cute actually. And hair. I like to draw like weird, shapy, blocky hair. That helps me too. Here I decided I wanted to add some more color, so I used my new markers that I've yet to do the review on. I don't know if I like them more than Ohu, but they do have a brush marker, so I'm trying to figure out the pros and cons before I do the video. That way you know if they're worth the money. But yeah, you put my little colors up there to see what they look like because I haven't made a color key yet because I'm lazy. And again, these colors just look very bright and vibrant. I really like them. And this one's actually a follower on Instagram. She's at I Love Gore. That's a username, isn't it? Here's another DrawingWiffWaffles over on Instagram. So I drew another one of my followers. And then here is my little Roswell characters in their summer outfits. Kind of just designed them as I went, so they're nothing final, but they were really, really fun, and I like the way their heads turned out. If we just look at that part, isn't that just so cute? They're just a couple. They're just a couple. And then here, reaching the end of the sketchbook, we have a quick watercolor drawing. Mostly in mechanical pencil, and then I added some watercolors. I was trying to make it look like a sunset. I don't know if that came through, but yeah, it's a girl on a beach. I was just very, very sweaty and trying to draw something fun. And here was my 3 marker challenge. I think it turned out so cute. I got so lucky with the colors. I mean, look at that. I mean, I did blend a little there to get some of the colors I wanted, but that is so cute. Look at it. Look at it. Anyway, that is my 16th sketchbook. It was a very quick one. These, the mixed media premium Canson ones, they only have 30 pages. So I do get them done in around a month. I think this one took me 2 months just because I'm so lazy at sketchbooks. I really like digital, but I really like doing this too. So I end up having to like split my time. So it just takes me so much longer to fill these. if you enjoyed going through my 16 sketchbook with me, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, and that way I know if you want me to share my next sketchbook. I've just started. It's right here. This one is twice as fat, so it's going to take me a while. But I have faith that it'll happen eventually. I want to share, the reason I have it out is because I really want to share with you the first page. I spent forever on it and I absolutely adore it. You ready for this? You ready for this? Just a quick, you'll have to pause if you really want to see it, but plump. Oh, I love it so much. Yeah, I can't wait to share with you this whole sketchbook. I've been spending good time on it and making it, I don't know, I just want it to be my best yet, so we'll see. It always starts off at the beginning, I'm like, yes, this is going to be great, and then somewhere near the beginning still, it just slumps, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this is about sketchbook 16. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week, and I hope you have a very delicious evening full of waffles. Bye!